Hello darlings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coralie and today we're going to do a review with two looks using the MBA Cosmetics Longing palette. This is the newest palette they just came out with. I did get this sent to me in PR, so full disclosure, I did not spend my money on this palette. This was sent to me in PR. This was gifted to me by the brand. Usually when I get stuff sent to me in PR, I don't like to weigh in on whether or not I think the palette is worth the money because I didn't purchase it. So how can I make a judgment based on is it worth the money or not? This is something that you're gonna have to do on your own with the information that I'm going to give you. I just want to mention, regardless of whether stuff is sent to me for free or not, I will give you my honest opinion because at the end of the day, makeup is supposed to be something that works for us, not that we should work for. If it's bad, I'm gonna tell you it's bad, okay? But this is, I believe, I have a lot of MBA palettes. I have all the MBA palettes, most of which I've purchased myself. I just recently got on their PR list at the, I would say, last third of 2023. So, thank you so much for sending this to me. I'm super grateful. Let's get into it. This is the Longing palette. It has 24 shades, and this is what this looks like. Wait, let me just... It's like this murky, muted, cooler toned color stories with a bunch of like duochrome shimmers and just regular, regular metallic shimmers. I have to say, this palette reminds me of a book. I said this on my Instagram story, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, baby, go check that out. But I said this on my Instagram story. It literally reminds me of this book that I read that's called A House of Salt and Sorrows. It's like a spooky fantasy murder mystery kind of situation. It has a little bit of romance in it, the longing part, but all of it happens basically in a coastal city, like at the, I don't know, the edge of a water situation. I can't speak. This palette just reminds me of like a coastal palette, like a coastal color story. I feel like making a coastal painting, like landscape painting with these shades would be so beautiful. But yeah, anyways, obviously when they revealed it, I was very interested because I was like, this is so beautiful. This retails for 42 USD on their website. It's 59 Canadian dollars. It has 18 mattes, 6 shimmers. So a matte heavy palette is usually my preference. So that's great. Let's get into the quick review section of the formula. I'm filming this intro outro a little backwards because I'm actually filming this before I'm doing the second look and before I even swatch all the shades, but I am very familiar with the MBA formula, and I'm happy to announce that this formula is the same as the formula that they have in other palettes. So if you're used to the good quality of MBA eyeshadows, then you're seeing similar stuff. I do feel like the shimmers are the like formulas that shift a little bit more in the MBA palette, and I like that these shimmers particularly feel a little bit drier than the one in the Ellis palette. The ones in the Ellis palette did have a creamier consistency, which I don't mind. It still didn't crease on me, but I feel like creamier consistencies crease on a lot of people, whereas drier consistencies tend to generally work for more people. So from the 3 shimmers that I've used, it does feel like they are a little bit drier than previous MBA shimmers, which I think is good for the brand. I think it's definitely like a better option for the brand, and it makes the shimmers more versatile because you can use them in a sparser way. They don't stick together as much. So anyway, today I made sure I used the like hardest objectively shades to blend, which are purples and teals and blues, just to make sure that I really tested the blendability of it. And I mean, not to toot my own horn, baby, but can you see this blend? This palette also has a mirror, which is really great. I used this mirror to do my eyeshadow and it was perfectly fine. Great mirror, super clear, HD 4K. I don't know, how do we describe mirrors? I have to say, I really like the 24 shade format of MBA. It's just a little bit shorter than their like 30 pan eyeshadow palettes, but the difference is considerable. I feel like I could travel with this size of a palette, whereas sometimes, if I see blends, I'm like, ugh, maybe I'm not traveling with blends, but I'm definitely traveling with Lore or with this one or with All Done Up is actually my ultimate neutral traveling palette because I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like definitely shorter. It's shorter here and it's shorter than the 30 pans. So yeah, these, great palettes. We love them. This is kind of my review. I don't have much to say because again, I've tried Blend Money eyeshadow palettes. I have all of them. The only eyeshadow palette from Blend Money I don't have is that little like trove quad that's this big, because I have a lot of multi-chromes, but I have all of them. The mattes are always great. Blend Money has a great matte formula, so I really have nothing to say about it. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm really like up there behind. I'm not. I'm just telling y'all the truth. It's great formula and great products. You're gonna see it in this tutorial. I will have been putting swatches on the screen while I'm talking about this, but the other thing that I do love about Blend Money, and I say all the time, is I love the configuration of like having 3 different levels of depth and having a shimmer at the end of the row. I just think it's so artful, and it makes using the eyeshadow so intuitive. And I feel like with Blend Money palettes, I never neglect any shades except for the grays, because I'm not a gray girl, but I never neglect any of the shades because it's just so easy to like build looks with this. So with that being said, let's get into the tutorials, and I'll see you guys back for the outro. Hello darlings, welcome to the first look using the ever so famous, I don't know that it's famous yet, but the MBA Cosmetics Longing palette. My mic is not working at the moment. I've tried to get it to work. It's not working, so we're just gonna have to have bad audio. I'm so sorry. At least you guys aren't used to super good audio, so it makes me feel better. I did this eye off camera. It looks so much more dimensional in real life, but it's stunning. I'm going to start with the Pley's base in the shade Rumor 2. This is a lighter, cooler toned base on me, so it's really going to make those cool tones pop, because as you can see, maybe they're pretty cool. We're going to go in a halo eye formation. As you can see, I have a darker purple here with like a tealish shade in the center, so let's get into that. We're going to go with the 2 darkest shades. I'm going to take Take Me Back, which is the darkest purple right here. Forlorn, which is this really dark, like grayish teal. Then I'm going to take Forlorn. I need to look up what that means because I have no idea. And I'm just going to buff that into the center, connecting the 2 little purple bits that we put down. I would say keep it small, and because we're gonna go back in with the deeper shades, we're gonna re-intensify them, so don't worry about that quite yet. We're gonna go in with Pleading, which is this mid-tone purple, and Bottled Up, which is this mid-tone teal gray. I don't know. I'm calling this row a teal gray row because it's the next row is like more tealish, green teal, right? Anyways, whatever. Taking up those blends, you know, a little higher up into the crease. For these shades, I've been using an e.l.f. detail crease brush. You can see mine is literally on its last leg. I had to tape it together, but yeah. Once I'm done with these shades, I'm actually going to go into my Made by Mitchell. These are like eye brightening powders, but I'm just going to take the shade Morn, which is cooler toned, and I'm going to pack that on my brow bone. I don't know what it is, but like a matte brow bone just does it for me every time, and it makes sure I don't blend my shades too high. So I'm just going to pat that on like the second half of my brow, just to kind of, you know, prepare and make sure nothing sticks there. Lastly, we're going to take Twist of Faith, which is super pretty light muted purple. We're going to take Misty Eyed, which is the lighter teal gray. Oh my god. And I'm going to take those on a P. Louise 117. It's super tiny. You're going to see it when I like use it on my eyes, but look at it. You see, it's super tiny, but it's much fluffier than the previous brush I was using. And we're just going to softly blend the edges. And let's go in with our dear friend Misty Eyed, which is such a beautiful color. It's like it's what we would call a verre d'eau in French. It's beautiful. It's so stunning. As you can see, regardless of how high I take it, we still have this like nice blended line. So what I'm going to do right now is reapply all the matte shades, and then we're going to go into the shimmers. Okay. Ladies, we're in business. I'm going to take the Farinate Pixie Epoxy. This is a glitter glue, not a glitter glue, like a shimmer primer glue situation, but it just makes everything pop so much more, especially when you have a lot of mattes on the lid and you just kind of want to put shimmers on top. It's just going to make sure they really stick. And I'm going to use When It Rains in the center and Love Letters right on the outer edges. These are two really beautiful shades with a pretty shift. Look at that. Oh my god. Then I'm gonna take Love Letters on the inner, like so, and outer. Oh, this is so perfect. Stunning. So I'm just gonna try to blend those out together, you know, repat that shade. For the inner corner, I'm going to use the shade Remember, which is so blinding. Yeah, here you can see it. Remember, and I'll do that when I'm done with my base. I'll come back. It should cost $1 billion to look this good. Like, that's insane. Do you guys see that? Blues and purples are not easy to blend. Blend Money did a great job. I mean, as usual, I feel like I say this all the time, and then I'm like, well, as usual, because clearly they are the brand I own the most palettes from. So, are we even surprised? We are not. This is the final look for look number 1. It's so magical. I really like how much Maggie, who's the owner of Blood Money, has been putting a lot of effort into building her shimmers, because her matte quality is iconic, it works, and it's great. But her shimmer formulas, you know, she's had to work on them a few times, you know, shift things, and I just really love where we're going with the shimmers, and I think that's so beautiful. And so let's go to look 2. Well, welcome to look 2. This is the look that we're gonna do on this eye. I started with the Pley's base in the shade 2.5, which is the warmer, closer to my skin tone shade. The first shade I'm gonna take is the shade Bittersweet, which is this nice like olive mid-tone green, and I'm gonna take that on a fluffy brush. This is from MBA Cosmetics. It's like a flat but fluffy. I don't know if you guys can tell. And I'm just gonna pat that on my like lid and bring it all the way to the inner corner. And now we're gonna start buffing this out with the same brush, just wiping off the excess. I do love a good olive green moment. Olive green is one of my favorite colorful neutrals. I just think it works really well. I'm gonna do the same trick I did yesterday. This is the Made by Mitchell eye lights in the shade Daylight. I'm going to take the shade Ascend, which is a warmer toned beige, and I'm gonna pat that on my brow bone just to make it really clean. Then to blend out this green, I'm going to take the shade Starcrossed right here. This is such a pretty like light, it's like, you know, it's a light olive green, but it's really pretty. I don't know, I feel like I don't have a shade like this in my Blend Money palettes, and I'm gonna take it on a Lavish tapered blending brush. It's a fluffier blending brush. That's literally what you need to know. And so I'm just gonna take this and buff out the entirety of that shade. This shade is a little bit more powdery, I think, than some of the shades I used in the first look. That does not bother me because I always do my eyes before my face, and I mean there's very minimal fallout, as you can see, so clearly it's not that bad. Ooh, I fear I'm blending this really far. Okay, let me humble myself a little bit. See how easily that blended? Perfect. We're gonna go back in with Bittersweet, and I'm just gonna re-intensify that shade and re-blend it out. Next, I'm gonna take the shade Long Ago, which is a really deep dark brown. It's like super duper deep, like really deep. And I'm going to take that on the e.l.f. tapered blending brush. So, you know, it's a small brush, as you can see. This is really pigmented, so tap off the excess, okay? And I'm just gonna pat this almost diagonally. So I'm gonna pat it like this and buff it diagonally into the lid, like so. Be really careful with shades like these because you can always add more, but taking some off of your eyelid is practically impossible. So you want to make sure you go little by little. We're just gonna keep it like that. We definitely don't need anything to be any deeper than what it currently is. I'm gonna go back in with my brushes with no additional product just to buff everything out. And then we're gonna cut the lid. Going back in with the Base Pro, I'm just gonna fill into that empty space that we just created. Before I go in with my shimmers, I just like to blend it out using the brushes that we used. The first shade I'm going to take is All That's Left. Oh, you can't even see it, so bright. All That's Left. And I'm gonna pack that in the first half of the cut crease, and I'm gonna take that on a Blend Bunny. This is the brush from their Forget Me Not set. This was sent to me in PR, so By the way, I'm gonna make a really conscious effort to verbally say the stuff that I was sent to in PR, because I usually do it in my Instagram captions, but I'm definitely trying to do it a little bit more also in like videos, whether it is YouTube, TikTok, Reels, just so it can be more transparent and you know, I don't know, more transparent. So I'm just gonna pack that right here. And then I'm going to take the shade Remorse, which is this nice golden olive green. And I'm just gonna pat that right in the center of the mattes and that nice shimmery silver. And to get precise, I'm gonna go back in with my brush. So this is essentially the tutorial. I am probably going to take the lightest shimmer, you know, into my inner corner a little bit more when I do the rest of my face. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys for the final look. Babes, this is the final look. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit because you deserve to see the truth. This is the final look. I hope you enjoyed. I will be doing a work look with this palette tomorrow when I go to work, and I'll be making like a real TikTok in short. I usually post them the same day on all my platforms, so I'll be doing a little mini work tutorial using this palette, so keep your eye out for that. But yeah, this was the second look. We're back to the outro. Those were the looks, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Tell me what kind of videos you want to see from me. I'm considering making a ranking of all the Blend Money palettes that I own because I have so many of them. And I really do love the quality of them all, but I don't love the color story of them all equally. So if you guys are interested in a ranking all my Blend Money palettes, I would definitely love to do that for you. On that note, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You know, you taking your time to watch this video means the world to me, so I am so grateful, and I will see you guys in my next video. If you're looking for more content, follow me on TikTok and Instagram because that's where it's at, baby. I rant on there all the time. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.